Kamala Harris will make history tomorrow when she is sworn in as VP, and the Bay Area native will face historic challenges as well. With more on that, we go to KPIX 5's Wilson Walker live outside Oakland City Hall tonight. Wilson?
There you have it. Well, as we have talked about the Kamala Harris biography from Oakland to the White House, well, it would be a monumental story at any time. But here, we have someone who is about to make history in remarkably just unprecedented times.
We are in crisis. Decisions need to take place immediately as they relate to civil unrest, immediately as they relate to coronavirus and vaccinations.
Paul Henderson spent 5 years working for San Francisco District Attorney Kamala Harris. From the virus to political upheaval, he says the job she's taking on tomorrow is as large as the challenges facing the country.
All of this is all taking place at the same time and almost overshadows the process of celebration for the inauguration, which is going to be unique in and of itself. And that's where we're headed.
But in these dire circumstances may be an opportunity for a uniquely successful vice presidency.
Yeah, absolutely. With the pandemic and then with the riots and then with the, dealing with people of color being shot by cops, I think it's a good time to have women of color in office. That'll kind of bring other people together.
The idea of them being able to try to heal some of those wounds or bring the country back, optimism for the future. You see that in a lot of the way in which Kamala Harris is, I think, quite smiling and quite effusive in her public appearances these days. I think that is a lot of what's going on as they transition in a very weird time.
The job description of vice president has always been a vague one, but Joe Biden has talked about making Harris his full partner. Now, what that looks like will begin unfolding in a matter of hours now.
It's going to be very telling, I think, to the rest of the country, not just what the administration chooses to tackle first, but how they tackle it and what role the vice president will play or influence many of those decisions.
Joe Biden has not discussed a second term. There's a lot of speculation that he will not run again. That alone would make the Kamala Harris vice presidency stand out in a way that has not been seen in a long time. How does this all play out? It all begins tomorrow morning. We're live in Oakland. Wilson Walker, KPIX 5.
So many glass ceilings are being shattered. Pretty remarkable. All right, Wilson, thank you.